Hi everyone, welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. Today we're going to look at some key Bitcoin support levels. Let's get started. Okay, let's get the basics out of the way. This is the Kraken chart. These are daily candles and Bitcoin is trading at $47,138. We're down from the all-time high of $69,000, which was hit on November 10th. Now, just a quick calculation. That has us down from the all-time high of about 32%. Still not insane. It's happened before. It's happened during bull runs before. This is no different. So, taking a look at a few indicators, we are below the EMA ribbon. So obviously you can clearly see the EMA ribbon and we are clearly below it. The RSI is down around 38. Now, I just want to talk about the RSI for a second very, very quickly. If we're down around here, and if you go back to other similar levels, they've served as good buying opportunities. So just take this level here, which would have been at 38.76. So that's exactly the same as where we are today. If you look up here, look at the corresponding day, because remember, these are all daily candles. That'll be the 29th of September. Now, let's say you had bought on the 29th of September, and you sold on the day at the top. Of course, there's no way you're just going to call that. You want to be very, very lucky. You've made a 69% profit, 69.5% actually. But even if you sold today, you'd still be up 15%. Now, taking a look at the Bollinger Bands, here you have the Bollinger Bands, you have the two blue lines here, and in the center then you have the bases, this kind of like orange line. We're below the bases on the Bollinger Bands. Now, we're not towards the bottom. These don't seem to be tightening, so it doesn't really suggest a breakout's going to happen. If you look at here, when they started to tighten, a breakout happened and it broke to the downside. So we don't look like there's a major breakout happening at the moment, but that's just one indicator. Having a look at the MACD here, we actually look like we're having a bullish cross here. So remember, this is the daily, but these crosses have to happen somewhere. So we had this bearish cross. What I mean by that is the blue line passed underneath the orange line. It looked like it was going to come back up here and the blue line was going to cross above it again. Didn't happen, got rejected. Now over here, we appear to be having a bullish cross on the MACD on the daily. That could be promising, could be a sign that a trend reversal is going to happen. Now really quickly, I want to talk about the Bitcoin dominance. Remember, if you take all of the money in the world invested in cryptocurrency and you take what percentage of that is invested in Bitcoin, that's what the Bitcoin dominance is. When this increases, the price of Bitcoin tends to increase as well. And when it decreases, the altcoins tend to come out and increase in their value. But again, usually that's just a trend, but it usually happens. Now, if you look at it here, you tend to have a double bottom pattern. This was pointed out by a good friend of mine, Kieran. So if you're watching, thanks very much. You have a double bottom pattern here. So if you just take a look, Bitcoin came down, bottomed, back up again and again. So it looks like a W. Now, a lot of times these blast off to the upside. They're the opposite of double tops. They tend to be very bullish patterns. Now, switching back to the Kraken daily chart, and this is the Bitcoin versus US dollar chart. Just want to refer to the title of this episode about the levels to watch. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is that these two lines here, this is the 50-day moving average and it's the 200-day moving average. Now, typically, the 200 daily moving average, this line, it's basically, if you take the last 200-day closes and you get an average of that, this is where this trend comes from. It's been acting as support. Yes, we had a wick down below here, but it tends to be accumulating around here. I think if we lose this, there's going to be more to the downside, okay? But if we get a bounce off this, that'll be bullish. If we're above this, we tend to be in a kind of a bull market or price increasing. If we're below it, price tends to be decreasing. So I'm watching this green line here and seeing if Bitcoin is going to get support here and continue on. If we fall below that, yeah, we're in for more pain. Now, another line to watch. Oh, by the way, that line is around 47,000. So that's kind of important at the moment. Now, the next line I'm looking at, if we just trace back to here, take a look at this resistance line here. This was a previous all-time high of about, just under 65,000. Price fell off during the summer there, came up, got a rejection here around September, down again, then broke through this resistance line and we had some more upside and set a brand new all-time high. Now at the moment, I'm looking to see if this price is going to come down and touch it. We did wick below it, but I want to see if it's going to come down. If it does lose the 200-day EMA and it comes down here, if it's going to flip this as new support, because one of the most bullish things an asset could do is flip resistance from resistance into support. So if you got a bounce off here and continued on, that'd be very, very bullish. So that level is down around just about $44,000. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so the 200 daily is at 47, but that will fluctuate and keep an eye on that. But if we were to fall straight down here and this if we get support off this line here, which was previous resistance, $44,000. And the final level I'm looking at, the final support level I'm looking at is $42,000. And that's this yellow perforated line. Remember, I do all my previous all-time highs, or some of them, with perforated lines. So that was the all-time high back in the 7th of January 2021. And then we fell below, broke up through it again, kind of got not a perfect bounce here, it's a bit above here. But even down here, you can see it broke below it, rejection, got back above, got perfect support from this wick here. A lot of accumulation here. My point is, it's a significant level. And if we come down here, even I think that's the lowest we're going to go personally before we hit new all-time highs. If we come down to 42, wouldn't be the end of the world. Good buying opportunity, good time to keep dollar cost averaging into that dip. But I think 42,000 is the lowest we're going to go. But I wouldn't be surprised if we got support off this green line, this 200-day moving average, and continued upwards. If you got any sort of value, anything at all, if you've learned anything, if you've watched any of these videos and you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed. But if you've learned anything from this video, or you're into Bitcoin, you want to stay up to date with the latest price action news, please hit that subscribe button. It is free. It takes a second. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it helps me grow the channel, because we're on our way to 500 and essentially my target is 1,000. So that's it. Sláinte. Bye.